In football, there are players who score goals. And then there are players who redefine what a goal even means. Erling Haaland isn't chasing records anymore. He's creating them. And the scariest part? He's still only 25. This season alone, he scored 9 goals in the Premier League, 3 in the Champions League, and an astonishing 13 goals for his country, Norway. That's 25 goals already, and the season isn't even halfway. Every time he steps onto the pitch, it feels less like a game and more like an inevitability. Because when Erling Haaland moves, the entire rhythm of football changes. Defenders don't just mark him, they orbit around him, terrified of what comes next. When Manchester City signed him in 2022, they didn't just buy a striker. They triggered a new footballing era. People said he'd struggle to adapt, that Guardiola's system wasn't built for a player like him. But in just 3 seasons, Haaland turned doubt into dominance. Over 135 goals in less than 160 games, a rate no one has ever touched in Premier League history. He became the face of efficiency, the definition of destruction, the machine that turned City's perfection into something darker and deadlier. 52 goals in his debut season, 38 in his second, and now in 2025/26, he's playing like a man possessed, faster, sharper, more complete. This is not the same Haaland who first arrived. This is version 3.0, a striker engineered to conquer every possible weakness. In his early days at City, Haaland was a finishing weapon, the last touch of a beautiful Guardiola symphony. Kevin De Bruyne fed him. The wingers stretched the pitch. The team created, Haaland destroyed. But football adapts. Defenders began dropping deeper. They cut off his space. They forced him to play with his back to goal. And for a while it worked. Yet Haaland learned. He studied every limitation, every defensive pattern, every tactic used to silence him. And one by one, he dismantled them all. Now he's not just finishing attacks, he's creating them. He drifts wide, pulls center backs out, lays the ball off, and then bursts back into the box with terrifying timing. He presses when least expected. He stays still when defenders expect movement. Every touch feels calculated. Every run feels inevitable. That's the difference between a goal scorer and a phenomenon. For years, Guardiola's City played with control, possession, structure, rhythm. They strangled games slowly, methodically. But this season, something's changed. City have become unpredictable, more direct, more vertical, more chaotic. And that chaos exists for one reason: to unleash Erling Haaland. City's new system sits deeper, inviting opponents forward. They wait for the right moment, one loose touch, one misplaced pass, and then explode. When the ball drops, Haaland's world begins. 3 strides and he's gone. No one can match him, not physically, not mentally. Pep Guardiola, the master of control, has embraced chaos just to maximize one man. He's built a tactical paradox, precision built around destruction, and it works. In matches where City have had less than 40% possession, something unthinkable in previous years, Haaland is scoring more than ever. He thrives in space, hunts in transitions, and finishes like a cold-blooded predator. The Haaland of 2025/26 isn't just adapting to the system, he's bending the system to his will. Every Haaland goal feels simple: a quick pass, a single run, a ruthless finish. But simplicity, at his level, is the hardest thing to master. Watch him closely. His goals follow a pattern of genius. He doesn't sprint immediately, he waits, he reads, he listens to the movement around him, like a hunter timing the heartbeat of his prey. Then in one instant, he's gone. A blur of muscle, speed, and precision. 3 touches, one to separate, one to stabilize, one to destroy. It looks easy, but it's chaos engineered into perfection. Even the world's best defenders can't stop him. Not because they're too slow, but because they never know when he'll go. That's what makes him terrifying. At 25 years old, Haaland has scored over 60 international goals for Norway. He's already outscored the legends of his country before even reaching his prime. For Manchester City, his tally is beyond logic. He's averaging a goal every 70 minutes this season. These are not human numbers. They belong to a player operating at a level football's history books were never designed for. And yet, behind the statistics, there's a human evolution unfolding. Haaland used to be seen as robotic, emotionless, mechanical, predictable. But this year, there's something new in him. Confidence mixed with calm. He celebrates differently now. Less fury, more control. He doesn't just score goals, he dictates moments. It's as if he's finally realized what we've all known for years, that he's not chasing greatness anymore. He is greatness. Guardiola has rebuilt City's tactics to orbit around Haaland's gravitational pull. Last season, the team relied on midfield overloads, short passes, and slow progression. But in 2025/26, they've reintroduced unpredictability. Phil Foden and Jeremy Doku stretch wide, Reinders or Rodri sit deeper, and the midfield collapses quickly to recover second balls. It's no longer about possession, it's about propulsion. When the ball breaks loose, Haaland's positioning is perfect. He's already half a second ahead, scanning, turning, ready to explode. The entire team reacts to his movement. Every run from him forces two defenders out of line. Every decoy opens space for others. Even when he doesn't score, he changes the geometry of the game. There's never been a player like him in a Pep system before. A striker so powerful that even the system itself has evolved just to keep up. Every time Haaland steps on the pitch, he's expected to score. Not just by fans, but by his teammates, by his coach, and by himself. That pressure would break most players. But for Haaland, it fuels him. He's turned pressure into purpose, expectation into energy. Because behind the goals and glory, there's a story of obsession. The 4 a.m. workouts, the ice baths, the quiet self-discipline of a man who treats his body like a machine designed for war. He once said, "I sleep early. I eat the same food every day. I do everything to make sure I'm ready to score." That's not arrogance, that's preparation. And it's why every time you think Haaland has peaked, he finds a higher mountain to climb. There's a certain silence when Haaland gets the ball, a pause, like football itself is holding its breath, because everyone knows what's coming. Defenders stop looking at the ball, goalkeepers start guessing before he even shoots. Crowds rise, cameras pan, and within seconds the net ripples. There's no celebration loud enough to match that kind of dominance. It's the fear of inevitability, the kind of fear Messi once created with the ball at his feet, the kind Cristiano inspired with his movement. But Haaland's fear is different. It's colder, sharper, more absolute. He doesn't just defeat opponents, he erases them. The scary truth about Erling Haaland in 2025/26 is that he hasn't reached his final form. He's still evolving, still learning, still expanding the limits of what a striker can be. Right now, he's the perfect hybrid. The physical power of prime Ronaldo, the movement of Van Nistelrooy, the composure of Henry, the efficiency of Lewandowski. But all of that exists inside one player. The goals may define him, but his presence, the gravity he exerts on a game, that's what makes him terrifying. When the whistle blows, every defender knows. You can prepare for him, you can study him, you can even stop him once, but you cannot stop him twice. Because every time you think you figured him out, Erling Haaland becomes something new, something faster, something stronger, something scarier. Haaland isn't chasing Messi or Ronaldo's records. He's carving his own path. He's not a product of the past. He's a blueprint for the future. In 10 years, young strikers won't be asking how to play like Haaland. They'll be asking how to survive against players like him. Because he's more than a finisher now. He's a movement, a mentality, a force of nature that bends tactics, systems, and even the psychology of the game around him. The scary truth isn't how many goals he's scoring, it's how many more are still to come. Erling Haaland, he's not just scoring goals, he's averaging one every 70 minutes. He's not just the best striker in the world right now. He's football's next evolution. And this is only the beginning.